Has your Roomba been acting strangely lately?
What?
Yours might not be the only one. Some of the i7 and S9 models of the robot vacuums have been experiencing issues due to a recent software update.
Okay, Matt Rosen is the CEO and founder of Allata, a technology consulting firm that's helping automate companies. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. So what is going on with these robotic vacuums here?
So from what I can tell, it looks like they pushed a release that has actually caused the robot to forget everything it knew. And, my company's been doing software engineering for about the last 20 years, and it's all about, delivering code quickly and making sure you test it really well, which appears to have not happened. And interestingly, I've got a Roomba in my house, and I've not been able to recreate the drunken issue. Maybe my Roomba doesn't like to drink. But for many people out there, their Roombas aren't going back to their docking stations. They're bumping into walls. They're scaring pets, and they're basically having to reset the whole unit. But what's interesting is I can't find anything about it on the iRobot site. So it's hard to tell whether it's all over the place or just a few users having this issue.
So, more and more often you see homes being built with the latest tech, heating and cooling starting to be automated. Even refrigerators are automated. So how big a problem could something like this be?
It's interesting. I actually did a check. I've got over 40 smart devices plugged into my home network, and I think that's starting to become the same for all of us, whether it's that Nest doorbell or the cameras or your refrigerator or your Sonos speakers. Everything's getting more and more interconnected, and so when one thing has a problem, they can all have problems. And so I think as we go on, making sure you understand the technology around your smart home is going to be really important to make sure you don't experience these issues. And I do have a couple tips I can share with you guys during the interview.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think as you're thinking about setting up your smart home, some things to think about is using a guest network for all your devices. Use your computers on one network. Also, when these devices get hooked up, don't give them access to your Outlook or your calendar or your phone number or your contacts in your phone. You can say no to those things. And then I think the third thing is just make sure you don't use password or welcome123 or 1234. Make sure you reset it with a stronger password, and that way you can make sure that these devices stay secure.
All right, so, looking at cars seem to be maybe more vulnerable at this point than house. If some software update goes wrong with your car, it could cause serious problems. Your Roomba going nuts and chasing the dog, maybe not so much. Is there a possibility that software updates could actually present a danger?
It is possible for sure. Cars are actually one of the most complex pieces of machinery we interact with. There's over 100 million lines of code running in your car at any given time, and have been for many years. So I would say the car manufacturers have done a pretty good job over the years of making sure when they push updates, they are solid. But there have been issues with some Tesla updates over the years, but they tend to be a little more sophisticated in getting those releases out, getting them fixed. But hey, we still have recalls on cars. But if you look back 100 years ago, once we gave up the horse and buggy for the car, we never looked back. So luckily, the car manufacturers are probably ahead of the game and some of the smart home technologies because they've just been at it for a lot longer.
All right, Matt Rosen, CEO and founder of Allata, a technology consulting firm that helps automate companies, so he knows a little something about software updates. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on the show this morning.